In today's tutorial, let's learn how to do one of the blocks for the 4 blocks of the Baby Sampler Afghan. That's coming up right after this. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on the Baby Sampler Afghan. This is one of 4 videos in order to complete that Afghan. There are 4 different types of blocks and each one has some unique stitching that is really quite amazing. So I don't say that this is a hard Afghan, but you will definitely learn some new stitches. So within today's tutorial you're going to learn one of the blocks that you see here, and then there's 3 other tutorials. In order to find them really quickly, you can always come on the crochetcrowd.com, enter the Baby Sampler Afghan into the actual search engine, and then all 4 of these videos will be in one article so that you can quickly scan through. So without further ado, let's start one of the blocks now. Each one of the blocks that we have for the sampler, there's only 12 blocks in total, so there's only 4 different types of blocks, so therefore you'll need to do 3 of each block in order to complete the configuration that you see. The color choices that you're seeing here are just completely optional. Again, you can make it customized to suit whoever it's going to be gifted to. The Afghan calls for Caron Simply Soft. Now you'll notice that the Caron Simply Soft, the drape is very beautiful on these and the luster is great. It's a premium acrylic and so it turns out really quite fabulous. Today's tutorial I'm going to be using Bernat Super Value in order to show you, because that's what I'm choosing to use. Of course you just have to make sure that the hook complements the yarn, and you'll need a size 6mm size J crochet hook today. Now today's instructions, they are not provided in crochet diagram format, so they're only in written words, and that's why there's a tutorial today. And basically you don't see a lot of instructions because there's a lot of repeat stuff going on within these blocks, and so all you just need to do is pay attention to the amount of rows that you're doing. Okay, so the finals is a round, and basically it's the border that goes around each one of the squares, so you need to really carefully pay attention to the row numbers, because I don't believe, if I remember, I did these a while back, not all the rows are the exact same height. And the reason for that is that not all the stitches are the same height. So basically you just gotta continue to watch for these rows, and then the final has a round that is on each one of them, and it makes for a beautiful border. So here's block number 1 for today's video. So this is made using Cool Green of Caron Simply Soft, and you see that it really does resemble a corner to corner look for those famous corner to corner, and in actual fact it's actually the same concept, but instead of going corner to corner you're just going across the row. So those that don't want to do corner to corner, this is a great opportunity. You'll have the same look, and then you'll have a nice flat edge, and then work yourself into a block. So without further ado, let's start with the instructions. Grab your 6mm size J crochet hook today, and your Caron Simply Soft or whatever your yarn you're choosing to do for your baby Afghan. So let's begin and create a slip knot, and we're gonna start off by chaining 42. Okay, so remember that the 1 on the hook never counts as 1. I want you to chain 42. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go all the way to 42 for me, and meet me back here in just a moment. I now have my chain 42. This next row is very simple, row number 1. So second chain from the hook, 1 and 2, just count back to the second one and just go into the back hump of the stitch, okay, of the chain, and just single crochet and single crochet into each one of those, going all the way across. So single crochet into the back hump of the chain, going all the way across, and I'll be here in just a moment. We'll start you up to the next row. I'm coming up all the way to the end of the row, so I've single crocheted all the way across, and now I'm ready to turn my work and go up for row number 2. So row number 2 we're going to start, and we're gonna start establishing in the pattern, because row number 3 is the repeat pattern for the entire rest of the block. So let's begin row number 2. So let's begin row number 2. We're gonna just go slowly at this because I'm reading as I go, and basically it says to chain 1, so we're gonna chain 1, and then you'll see that it has a bracket, single crochet, chain 2, 4 double crochets all in the next single crochet. So the very next single crochet we're gonna do that. So we're gonna single crochet 1, and then it says to chain 2, and then it says 4 double crochets into the same stitch. So this is kind of how it's turning in order to do that corner to corner look. So there's 4 in there. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that one there. and that's called a cluster made. So all that complete configuration of the single crochet, chain 2, and the 4 double crochets are referred to as a cluster as per the designer. It says to skip the next 3 stitches, so 1, 2, and 3, go to the 4th, and then it says go back and basically do the cluster again. So we're gonna just immediately start on the 4th one, single crochet, chain 2, and 4 double crochets all in the same one. So you're thinking to yourself, it doesn't look kind of correct yet. You just gotta let yourself get to the next row to do it, and then you'll start seeing the configuration. So to review that one more time, skipping 3 stitches, go to the 4th, do a cluster, which is a single crochet, chain 2, and 4 double crochets into the same one. Please do that same thing all the way across, and on the very final stitch when I get there, it's gonna be 1 single crochet. And I will see there in just a moment. You will see that it says to repeat 10 times as well as per the instructions. So you will have 10 of these configurations going all the way across. So I'm coming up all the way across, and I'm just finishing the 10th cluster, and you'll notice it's not right to the end, which is great because you're not supposed to be. And I'm doing my 4 double crochets here. So once you get that done, just single crochet into the final stitch, just like so. Okay, so you should have 10 of these at this time, and this is what it looks like at this moment. Let's move up to row number 3, which is the repeat pattern for the rest of this block. So whenever you start the remaining rows for this particular block, this is what we're going to do, and as per the instructions, here it is. So we're going to chain 3 to start, 1, 2, 3, and it says to do 4 double crochets in the first single crochet, and this is the same stitch right underneath. Okay, it's the first single crochet right underneath it. So we're gonna put 4 more double crochets in there. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now it says in brackets single crochet, chain 2, 4 double crochets in the next 9 chain 2 spaces. So the chain 2 spaces, you got 4 double crochets here in a row, okay, then you have the chain 2, and then here was the single crochet. So I'm looking at it from the opposite point of view because you're going the other way. So these are, the last one is basically your chain 2. So all of these waves and stitches are going this direction at this point. Okay, so these ones here are going to fall in the opposite direction. They're gonna go the other way, so it's gonna look like it's woven. So what we're going to do is just go over to the chain 2 space, so right over top this section here, single crochet, chain 2, and 4 double crochets into this chain 2 space again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's all it is. Okay, so the next one, we just look for the next chain 2 space over here. Just go right over top this section, single crochet first, then chain 2, and then 4 double crochets into that same one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more time. So just stretch over this one, go to the next chain 2 space, single crochet, chain 2, and 4 double crochets right into there. Okay, do you get that? Does that make sense to you? So I want you to go all the way across so you can see that these fans are going this way and the new ones are now going this way. So then that means that the next ones that we'll add up here will be going in the same direction as these. Okay, so just continue to go all the way across. I'll meet you back and I'll just do one more row for you just so that you're clear on what to do. So I'm coming up near the end of the project on the other side, okay, or the end of the row, and basically we just got to pay attention to how we finish the rows because it's got to make sense, right? So okay, so here we go. That was 4 double crochets. So in the very final one you're just gonna put a single crochet right into the chain 2 space to finish this row. Okay, so that's how you're just gonna finish, like so. So basically you can see over here you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So you should always have these 10 fans at the end. So let's just turn our work and just review this one more time, and then I'm gonna show you how to start the border. Let's turn our work, and remember what I said in the last section is that this is the way that we just started this last row is exactly how we're gonna continue to start each and every row. So we start off by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3, coming into the same stitch right underneath the single crochet and put in 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay. Now we just have to stretch over to the next chain 2 space, single crochet first, chain 2 and 4 double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so that's how you're going to do this whole the next blocks. So on the instructions it says to go all the way to rows number 22, and then 23 is the final. So I'm gonna show you how to do, I'm gonna just come to the end of the row and I'm gonna show you how to do the round 23, because the reality is that once you get it's all the same rounds anyway, but I wanna show you what you need to do to start the first section here, because this is a little confusing right in the very beginning. It's not, but I'll show you why in just a moment. So I'm just finishing up the row that I was just on with a single crochet right into the chain 2 space, and then that finishes that one right there. So here's what we have so far. So you're going to go all the ways to row 22, and then it'll look like this at the end, but obviously much longer. And I'm gonna show you how to go around the border. Now the border is really interesting because you have a flat side on the one side, you have a flat side on the bottom, you have a flat side on this side over here, but you don't have a flat side up here. So when we go to start our instructions, we need to make this flat in order to continue around. So the first part of the border, we're gonna stabilize this by making it flat, and then the rest of it's really easy because it already is flat. So let's begin to do that next. So let's turn our work and begin to do the border. So what essentially, there's a lot of words there, and what it's essentially asking you to do is to play within the double crochets that you can see here, and there's 4 of them, and it wants you to skip over these chain 2 spaces as well as the single crochet. So you're only gonna play within the 4 double crochets that are leaning over. Okay, and if you can get that in your brain, this is gonna be an easy one for you. So let's start off this one. We're gonna start off by chaining 3. 1, 2 and 3. So what's gonna happen is that we need to compensate for the ups and downs. So we're gonna start when we're in the valleys right down here. It's gonna be longer stitches, so there'll be double crochet, and as we gain up it's gonna be half double crochet, and then it'll be 2 single crochets then in the final 2 to bring it stable to itself once again. And then we're just gonna skip the chain 2 space and the single crochet and then begin the process all over again. So let's begin the first one. So first one of the 1 to 4 is a double crochet. The next one is a half double crochet, and the final 2 of that group of 4 is a single crochet each. So 1 and 2. See how that just made that into like a square? That's why we're doing that. So let's begin again. So we come back down to the next group of 4, so we're gonna skip the chain 2 space and the single crochet. Just go right for these 4. The first one will be a double crochet. The next one is a half double crochet, and the final 2 are 1 single crochet each. See that? See how it's making it flat? So let's do it again. So double crochet into the first double crochet over here, then a half double crochet, and then the final 2 are 1 single crochet each. Continue to do that all the way across, and I'll meet you back when we get close to the other side, and then I'll show you how to continue. So we're getting close to the end and we're following the same configuration. So I got a double crochet, half, and then 2 single crochets, and then you still have 1 more stitch left, okay, which is this chain 3 here. So on the final, this is your final corner, we're gonna put in 3 single crochets there. So 1, 2 and 3. So the hard work of the actual doing the border is done. Okay, so what's gonna happen is that these are complete blocks, so there's gonna be 41 stitches going across. There's gonna be 40 stitches going across down the bottom. Okay, And then basically we have to then, this is gonna be a bigger square obviously, but you have to get 41, okay, 41 single crochets all the way down the line here. So you just have to just evenly space it as per the instructions as you're going along. So whatever you decide to do in order to evenly space it, you have to be consistent about it. So what I would do is just work your way down and start single crocheting into spaces that makes sense for you, and count it. So that was 1, 2, and then 3, and you just have to do a good job in being able to do that. Okay, so the count is so important because basically the blocks connect to each other. So if you're off and you don't have enough, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna run out of stitches in order to attach it to your neighbor, and if it's too much, then it's gonna have a buckle in the actual square. So we're gonna turn the corner, and once you get to the corner at the bottom, again it's gonna be 3 single crochets into the very corner. And then the bottom stitches, because I had you go into the back hump, are very easy to get into, so just 1 single crochet into each. Okay, so once you get to then to this corner over here, okay, 3 single crochets into the end, and then basically another 41 single crochets going up the edge here, and then you're going to finish just by putting in a slip stitch in the end, and then this block is completely done. Okay, hopefully that helps you today. This is 1 block out of 4 for the Baby Sampler Afghan. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the crochetcrowd.com as well as Yarnspirations. We'll see ya. Bye bye.